And I
Okay,
think that explains a lot of why they don't full hop.
gotcha. So they're used to their previous main was a ground character like Ices, so like a stand character. So they're used
Mhm.
to fighting mainly on the ground. Got it, got it, got it. Okay, that makes sense. And the other thing I wanted to flag was so dash attack, drill shine, wave dash into jab. Interesting. So they're not run canceling these. They're just actually full on wave dashing, right?
Uh, I could be wrong.
Totally
Um,
fine, but like to your knowledge.
my impression was they were using wave dash.
Okay, got it. That makes sense because yeah. So we've actually caught something kind of important to looking at. Like if we were using the OODA loop right now, like the observe, orient, decide, act, the
Mhm.
fact that they are a former ICES main is absolutely information that we would be taking into consideration as part of our model. That would be under the orient step because it's like, what can we observe, and then what are the things we can't observe that we know about this person. So the fact that they come from a character who doesn't have much of an aerial background is valuable information. I'm not sure that we want to lean on something like that, but it's useful to know if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. We can kind of ground expectations in it, but not necessarily rely on it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because like it's like we don't know how they're responding to that lack of experience with aerials, right? They could be like the next time we play them, they could be doing lots of aerials to compensate that so they learn it, right? Like that's a thing that people sometimes do. It could also be that yeah, there's certain aerials that are better analogs, like back airs. I think would be a big thing for both characters that they might gravitate towards. Um, yeah, it's things like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's more that like we're just aware that this is a thing and we're looking for how it manifests, like what impact it has on their play. We don't want to have conclusions before we have, observations.
Okay.
I feel
One
like
thing
I feel like that is uncomfortable for you. I'm not just I'm sensing something here.
yeah, two things. I'm really not very good, I don't think, at spotting player habits and thinking about the player more than the character.
Okay.
That's not that's which is why I want to do this lesson because that's something that I really think is a major weak point. Um,
Okay.
Second, I play kind of dog in some of these games, and I just want to ignore that for the purpose of this lesson,
Sure.
particularly around the edge.
Okay. Yeah, no, I saw you missed a fast fall. Like it's all good. Like so you probably could have died there. If those things happen, they happen. But like for what we're doing here, we that's not super important. If
Mhm.
anything, you being a bit of a punching bag at moments is kind of helpful because we get to see what he wants to do.
Okay, that
See,
makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like, here's something I've noticed. He goes in with running shine a lot. Like he really likes initiating with shine. Um, I'm not sure like, and it doesn't really matter why. It just means that we like right there. To me, that's not a good shine. But he still went for it. I'll tell you why it's not a good shine. If you hit the fast fall into the edge, this is terrible because he's in the air here when you're on the edge.
I can just up air from ledge or something.
Yeah, and he can jump out of the way, but like then he's double jumping over here or over here. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
like you land L cancel, he's double jumped. You just do another up air and he's fucked. Like he's cooked. Um, if you go this way, then he's pushing you across the stage, but he can't really follow up because he has to jump in across this onto the platform. So I would say that there's a real bias, like there's a real lean towards shines because he's doing it in situations where I don't think it's necessarily very good.
Okay.
That could be an inexperienced thing. Maybe it's a safe play, but it doesn't really do anything.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, there are more important things than safety. Actually, doing something is really, really, really critical for a play. Because if you're just doing blank damage, you will eventually like blank damage is there's everything. There's so many things that are more valuable than damage.
He falls for that up B with the hitbox on the ledge a lot. I got him a few times throughout the set with that.
Yeah. He's also grabbing and He's also crouching and shielding more at high percent, which makes sense because you're Marth. And I notice you're grabbing him more, so that's good awareness by you.
Oopsie daisies.
We'll just, you know what? We got shine
Yeah.
spiked. It's all good. Moving on.
Yeah, I actually almost make a comeback this game. I felt pretty proud of it.
I'm not surprised at that actually. So let's look at this like at what's happening here. So why does he go after you here? So you see what I mean by like he likes to look for shines a lot. Because like here he could have easily just grabbed the edge. So he's edge guarding pretty aggressively. He's edge guarding with shine like very aggressively. Yeah, it just seems like he's like really wants to use that move.
One thing I do know, we have played before. We've played friendlies and a couple bracket sets since he switched to Fox. And he knows for a fact that I am extremely bad at hitting the fast falls off shine.
Okay.
So I think that I don't know if this is habit or he's actually playing into what he knows is one of my weaknesses.
Gotcha. So I would say that once we have like our kind of assessments of like what players are doing about us, we want to turn that into actionable. So I would say that like learning how to do the fastfall should be a priority.
Oh yeah, when I reviewed these notes, that was the first thing of notes.
Yeah. I also think that like just general recovery, like one thing that I notice is that you go above the edge a lot with your like look at how high you go here. Mm. But like why go there when we can fast fall like away from him? Like why jump here?
Yeah, well I was this is one of the things I messaged you is this is from a few weeks ago. Okay. Last week I actually spent a couple hours in Uncle Punch after watching some old Mewtwo King videos.
Nice.
Learning how to do like the really low snap to ledge and like the low recoveries. Because this is also prior to the lesson where we talked about. No, never mind. That's wrong.
No, it's all good.
I have been. That's one of the things I'm talking about. Where I'm like, I have kind of fixed some stuff since this set. That is one of them.
Yeah. So if somebody's coming in with like running shine and drill a lot, what do you think are some ways that we can like fight back against that?
Dash back, turn around, grab.
Why are we trying to like dash back against a running shine? I feel like running shine is good against dash back, because isn't that normally the thing they use as an overshoot? Because they can just run forever, right? Like they can place the shine wherever they want along run, which goes endlessly. So, yeah, I feel like trying to whiff punish it is not the move.
So would it be better to try and preempt instead?
Yeah, like nair, like we've been working on our nairs and stuff. I feel like nair, fair, down tilt, grab in place, all of these make a ton of sense.
Yeah, in this game here in particular, he gets me a couple of times with. I start nairing, and then he gets me a couple of times with run in, hold shield, and then abandons the plan again after that. We might have that might have been game one. I'm not sure.
That's okay.
But it does present a mix up for this player in particular of nair, running shine, run up shield.
Yeah, so let's look at this interaction here. Like you have to get out of the way here, but like where does he approach next? Like he's probably gonna recover onto this. Oh no, you get him in neutral. Nice. Okay, so he approaches with shield here. If he had like jumped forward into like drill, and you had just grabbed him, like immediately, it's going to beat the drill, and it's gonna also do well against this shield, right? And it'll also be fine versus running shine because he has to get to about here before he can actually do it. So what I would say here is you can see, like, I know it feels, correct me if I'm wrong, the reluctance to grab here, is it that you are afraid of being wrong? Like, are you afraid of getting punished or hit afterwards for overextending?
There's definitely a bit of that. I think it's threefold. One, I don't necessarily... I know how good grab is as an opener against Fox, but it whiffs a lot, and the punish on that is really hard. So that is one thing. The second is I think it's still just some old Falco habits coming through, where I'm just not used to grab being as rewarding.
Okay.
And the third is here. I'm trying. This was me trying to up tilt. That F smash was supposed to be an up tilt, because I'm expecting, because I expect him to jump out of shield.
True. Okay, got it. So
Trying to
you're,
catch that.
but like, so I'm thinking that this is really the interaction we're trying to play, though, because like up tilt covers this. Yes, I get it's like solid, but to me, you have Fox here and Marth here. Like he's in within your like dash jump cancel grab range, and it overshoots into the corner if you go forward with it. It also does fights well versus the things that he has been doing, because your grab hitbox is going to be about here, right? If he goes forward with shield, you're good. If he runs forward, you're good. I just don't see why we wouldn't just dash jump cancel grab here.
Yeah, that does. I do need to utilize grab more. It's still not fully I'm not. I haven't quite. I haven't learned to rely on it as much as I think Marth Main probably should.
It's his. I mean, so Marth's biggest problem as a character is that his attacks are weak, which makes him like susceptible to like a bunch of stuff. Specifically, ASDI down and like ASDI down is the big one. Grab bypasses that. Grab
Yes.
completely doesn't care about that and gives you something, gives you positional advantage, and he's the best character at using positional advantage if you don't get a true combo. So I struggle to see why like we're like, is that something that hasn't really landed with you yet, you think? Or like what do you think's going on?
It's something I'm theoretically and like academically aware of. It just hasn't started. It isn't fully manifesting in my play yet.
This is Falco's shine. Like
Wait, what?
this is like grab is grab is to Marth what Falco's shine is to Falco. Because like you don't always get like a death combo off Falco's shine, but you always get advantage state or a combo, right?
Yeah, it's always good to hit.
Marth's grab is the same thing.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean? Because like here you get like a 50-50 with up throw and forward throw to kill him, and even if he survives, you still get a combo going over here. If we were fighting a floaty, they go off stage because they DI'd away and have to recover over here, so you have an edge guard, or they DI in and you dunk them if off forward throw. Do you see what I'm getting at? It's like it's always good.
There's no scenario we're going for grab here.
Like
If it hits is bad, and if it doesn't hit, it's not the end of the world.
right, you're also at 11 against Fox. So if he like dodges it or something and then hits you with like nair or jab or whatever, you just hold down and grab him again. Like it's you have your health bar is really your health bar. I would argue is like strongly incentivizing this. In the same way that being at low percent would incentivize us to look for like crouch cancel shine. Does this make a little more sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So like I'd actually argue up tilt isn't even that good here compared to grab, because like I know that you're trying to catch this jump, but like let's say we get the up tilt. We're putting him behind us. Like we're putting him here. We're not getting a kill off that because we have to hit him across the stage really high up. Like this is a really easy fair to DI away from.
Yeah, that turns into like a weird. I don't even know if he would land on the platform for a tech chase.
You might be able to like control your like the knockback stacking and the hit trajectories to do it, but like this is so much less clean than up throw or forward throw, and if we get it, and half the time he explodes, and the other half of the time we get an edge guard or the same combo we would have gotten with this up tilt going this way, but we're further over here, so it's a better combo because we can like, yeah, it's easier to hit him onto the platforms and stuff. We have more we can work with. And that's assuming that he DIs all the way over here. Like, he might do a slight DI, you know? There's a lot of outcomes that are really good for us. Right? Because he's also at high percent, so these platform trap combos are going to be less reliable because slide off is easier when you have more knockback on you.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and trajectory edge cancel. What a drug. So powerful. And I'd say that the more attacks you're doing in this game, like you're way more active than you were in the other game, and I think it's like you can see that it is working for you. Like this is you're way more in control. You did the drift away fair thing we talked about. You covered the illusion. Like this is good. This is what we want.
Yeah, this game went really well for me. I didn't expect to take any games, and so when I almost made the comeback game one, I think I was super hyped going into game two.
Yeah. Tell me about this F smash. Is this an F smash or is it a fair?
It's I don't know. It could be either. I can see myself
The F smash
trying
isn't
hard
bad.
all out approach.
The F smash isn't bad. It knocks him over at 0, so I don't think it's like a bad move. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I can see myself doing either of those.
Is it fair to presume this might be intentional?
Yeah.
Okay, so why aren't we holding down?
Lack of the habit.
Okay. So this is, I think, a critical thing that we're going to need to get better, like, be more consistent about for dealing with his offense, because he's coming in with a lot of things that we're incentivized to swing early on. If we're not holding down, then we're opening ourselves up to a lot more punishment if we're wrong. We want to be mitigating damage if we're doing ground moves. Holding down is how you do that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, like, we're at 57. This is actually not that high in this matchup. Like, his soft nair doesn't knock us over. His soft back air doesn't knock us over. Jab is fine. Like we can tank jab. There's a good amount of things he might conceivably do. Like, full hop nair is something he might do. And we're still able to tank that with ASDI down. So, yeah, like, hard nair knocks us over. But even being knocked over by hard nair means that we're not getting popped up into up smash or other things, right? Because, yeah, like, so it's still protecting us even against the strong hits. Like,
I think that's the piece of the puzzle I was missing with holding down. Is like I conceptually understand, like, mechanically, like, I get hit, I'm less likely to get knocked down or go less far. But the idea of, like, where to implement it, and, like, if I might get whiff punished, then I should be holding down to hedge my bets. Like, that's the piece I think I was missing there.
When committed to an attack or movement on the ground, hold down. That's it.
Okay.
Like, and it's more important if the opponent's close to you and can hit you, but, like, it is a good habit, a good maintenance habit to generally have. As long as it's not fucking up your inputs on, like, the transitions out of it, it's all good. Because you don't lose anything by doing it.
Yeah, there's no downside.
That's why it's broken. Because you just do it and you have a benefit if it comes up, and if it doesn't, then you're fine anyway. It's like a 0 mana card.
Yeah.
Like, you want to play Lotus?
Yeah.
Lotus good.
There's a reason every modern duck ran for Ashnod's, or whatever, Mishra's Bauble once upon a time.
Yeah. I feel like this is probably more like a Mox, realistically, but, like, it's not Lotus good, but, like, because it's not burst, it's passive, but, like, you get what I mean. Like, yeah. It's just insulation when you're doing actions so that you are less punishable, and so that, like, you can cross off a lot of the opponent's move list at 0 if you do things like, if you, like, F smash or down tilt or whatever and hold down at 0, a lot of their moveset doesn't actually work on you.
So it's kind of like L canceling in a way.
Yeah.
Where it's like there's no drawback to, like, you should always be L canceling.
Yes.
It's like it's just it should just be a fundamental part of the input.
Yeah, you looked great here, by the way. There's something on this stretch I want to call some things out from the 2 stock mark. So, he's doing his dash dance thing. You go in with an attack, you pressure with your down tilt. That would have been, like, you could have avoided being popped up there. You'd still be knocked over, but again, not bad. It would help. I want to point out how he's moving in. He's waiting for you to swing and then attacking after, or he's attacking before you're going to swing. That's really the only 2 things you can do versus Marth. So when you're mixing up your timings of when you attack and how you attack him, you see that this is way harder for him, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is how you vary it. Remember, Marth, because Marth's sword swings have the most disjoints, he automatically wins most of the like he's strongly favored in most of the air to ground and air to air interactions, because it's all decided by as soon as the air is involved, it's all decided by disjointedness. So the opponent has to either get in first or hit you in end lag. They don't have another way to do it. They can't fight you head on. So with that in mind, how we mix up our sword swings and the angles of those sword swings is super, super, super critical. Because
Okay.
he doesn't actually... how many different ways has he really engaged you? Not many. It's always...
No, it's all just a grounded, straight line approach.
Yeah, and he, like there might be a stutter or delay, or he might just hold W, like hold 6 to like keep holding forward. If he thinks that you won't swing right away, but it's really just those two modes because that's all that works versus Marth. That's why he's strong.
So I could kind of like the thing that frustrates me a lot in the Fox matchup is like Fox has so many different things he can do, and they're
Right.
all faster.
But if you
and
can beat everything he does with like 3, then who cares?
Right, I can play the opposite side of that and be like, and frustrate Fox by having so many different ways I can implement a move that's always has more reach.
If his fair, dare, nair, and bear all lose to your fair anyway, then like who does it matter that he has 4 tools?
Nope.
Right. Marth is a character of quality. He's not he has a lot of good tools, but like ultimately what makes him strong? His quality. Fox is kind of like I'd actually argue that Fox isn't as high quality as Marth on his actual tools in some ways. It's just his movement and like the good things he has are just like stupid. Like, why does his laser full screen? He's supposed to be a rushdown character, goddammit. Like, that's the most egregious one to me. But like, you see what I mean? Like, he can control the flow of the match better than Marth in those like in concrete ways because he actually like takes damage at full, like inflicts damage at full screen, and he's so fast. But like in terms of like move to move interactions, my god, Marth like dominates him. There's a reason that like whenever there's a super good Fox player, the Marth stock goes up. Like
Okay.
yeah. Because like there's that dash attack. So let's think about this. So if we know he likes to dash attack, and dash attack, drill, running shine, where should we be playing relative to him?
Just outside, I would say, just outside of drill range, the short hop drill range.
Mm-hmm.
So that if he wants to, he has to make a running approach at me, which would be dash attack or running shine, and I can react to both of those the same way with a nair or preemptive nair
or turn grab or whatever. So I want to point out, look at how far forward you go. So if he's over here and you're here, this is a good spacing based on what we just said. So why we shouldn't be moving so close to him? We should be moving further back. Like we should already be moving back from him.
Yeah, there's no way. If we're both actionable, there's no way this ends well for me.
Yeah, so this is the last frame, I think, where we can like feasibly still be dashing this way. We have to turn and move like now, because at this point we're too close. So, let me ask you: are you avoiding the corner because you're worried that he'll hit you there and corner bad?
I'm definitely playing scared of shine in the corner.
Don't worry about the shine in the corner. We have to use the full stage, because what you are doing right now is you are cutting down this much dash dance space. You're cutting your room to dash dance between both sides, probably by about like 10% or 12%.
Okay.
And that's too much. We have to use the full stage. It is okay to get shined here, learn the thing. There's also the option to just there's also the option to like block more in the corner and roll it and get out of there, right? Like we don't necessarily have to stay here in that way, but if we're just constantly like playing forward from this point because we're worried about what happens here, then that means that this is all real estate that he hasn't earned, that he's getting the benefit from.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Because you see, like it impacts our ability. This is great spacing, but if we have like 12.5% less stage to work with, it's so much harder to maintain that. And the spacing
almost so good. It was just slightly too late.
Let's see here. So it was back here. Oh yeah. So you were going for up air up tilt.
Yeah, but I just whiffed it slightly because I delayed it a little bit. And whoopsie daisies.
I have a suggestion on that. Do easier things. That up air's so hard, and it doesn't even knock him over at this percent. Like, what if we just up tilt?
Yeah.
Like, you're already under the platform.
Yeah, this is one of the things I've been trying to focus on is I should be aerials are good if I'm already in punish, but otherwise I want to try and stay grounded more because Marth thrives on the ground where dash is open, and my fastest like scrapping tools are all grounded ones. You know, there's no like Marth's jump squad is 4 frames. It's not great, and
For sure.
when
Let's
come out at scrapping range, they're not. That's not where they're most effective.
True, but I think that we should also be looking at percent too, because there's nothing in this game that matches the efficiency of a falling aerial in terms of like just raw efficiency. Like falling fair is like a giant disjointed wall that L cancels for 7 frames if we can set it up. Like if we can find a way to set it up. That's insane. But it is also very susceptible to ASDI down if we do it at the wrong percents. So I think that what percent the opponent is at should be like a consideration in this calculus. Because I think that his aerials are really good. I think we're underselling them, but they need to be done at the right times.
Okay.
Like I'd say that this up air, while really is okay, it would be amazing if he was at like 20. Because we really want that up air knocking him over, right?
Right.
So in this way, I'd actually argue up tilt is better here, even though we're in a punish situation, like our ground move is better here because it just has more power. Like tipped up tilt. If we walk under the platform or wave dash under and like tip up tilt here, then it solves so many of our early game problems.
It's also just strictly less execution testing.
Yeah, like we just move forward, turn around, up tilt, we're done.
Okay.
And then we can start going for up tilts. For up airs, because he's at 20. So it feeds into the next part of the combo, where like we have the more efficient tool. Because up tilt has, I mean, it hits from 6 to 12, interrupts on 32-ish, I think, or 29, something like that. So it's got like about 17-ish frames of cooldown, maybe 20 frames, something like that. Up air has 7. Like, 7 on landing, plus what our fall time, which is maybe like 4, maybe. Tops. So like we're saving almost like double the time. We're twice as efficient.
Okay.
But we need the power because if we don't put him into a state where we can actually work with that efficiency, then we might as well just do the more powerful move. Because it's really about the state we put him in, not just the raw efficiency of what we do. It's all like kind of balanced. Marth is a very delicate character in this way.
Oh, there are like 4 different things I could have done right there.
Yeah. And you see, by us standing there, we're not able to challenge his ledge dash, and get into our proper spacing when he gets on. So we should be dashing back here. You see that, right?
Yeah. It looks like I start to, but it's too late.
Exactly. So we need more awareness of, like, I think we need to spot these situations a little bit sooner. Because once they are happening, it's too late. We need to know what's going to happen in advance for some of these more like mechanically consistent ones. So let's look at how he grabs the edge there, because I think that's going to tell us a lot here.
Okay.
So we missed an edge guard. That, like, we put him off stage with a nair. He illusioned to the ledge. I think that him coming up is a pretty reasonable thing to like know that he's gonna do, or that he might do.
Yeah, every fox wants to ledge dash here. A lot of them can't help themselves.
Well, I mean, like it's also if he doesn't ledge dash here, what does he do, right? Like if he refreshes here with Marth here, like that's terrible.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and if he like tries to like ledge hop drill with Marth here in the platform here, that's also terrible. So, like, I don't think he has anything else he can really do here, except for maybe, like, stall with a B, maybe this way, go for a double jump to platform or something, and shield, like... But these are really not particularly exciting, and they're also not things that our dashback is bad against.
Yeah, because all my caveman options just win against everything except ledge dash.
Right, so I think it's pretty reasonable to assume he's gonna do the non-caveman option. He's gonna ledge dash and try to, like, figure it out from there. So we have to also not do the caveman option. And since we know he's going to grab the edge because we just heard illusion go off, and he didn't hit us or come up, and he didn't die, so yeah, we know to dash back. Does that make sense, or am I talking crazy?
No, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. It's not as like it kind of makes a lot of sense why a lot of like the kind of like gold silver players are so good at certain things. Like I find they're really good at ledge dashing. They hit their B and Bs, because these are all very concrete, mechanically sturdy things that they just kind of have to do. Otherwise, they get like execution, like knowledge checked, and killed at like 20, or like at any percent really every time they go into certain spots. So I think it makes a ton of sense that they have these skills. It also doesn't surprise me that an Ices player, of all people, would be leaning into that, because Ices are the things that make them good is all concrete things. Because they have like it's all grab infinites and shit.
Right. It's like mechanically execution testing sorts of things rather than more conceptual stuff, is what you're saying?
I'd say not really. I'd actually say there's no execution testing. Once you're in a handoff, you're dead. Like it's if the Ices if the Ices hits, like they're just fine. So I think that this is the flip side of this. If Fox is in the spot, then he's fine as long as he hits.
Yeah, I guess poor choice of words there again. Like more execution intensive things rather
intensive. Yes. Okay, clearly you understood then, because that's exactly it. It's like I'm willing to like grind this to make sure that I always don't die here, or at least I don't die here on my own, like because of me. The opponent has to beat me here.
Okay.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
So how are you feeling about how this is going? I feel like we've kind of gone in some different directions, but I want a temperature check. How are you feeling about this?
I guess I'm looking for a way to bring it all back home. Like I'm thinking like the concrete things that we've gotten out of this, for this player specifically are, I'm just gonna think out loud here.
Yeah.
That if we know that they prefer grounded movement, and they like to go for shine, particularly near the ledge, even if it's not necessarily a good option, we can hedge a lot of our bets by just not worrying. There's a lot of stuff that we don't need to have to think about covering, and so I can play a more nair heavy game at a wider spacing, because that kind of will bait them into trying to go for the dash attacks or running shines that I know they like to go for. And so if I go for those nairs, I should be auto canceling those, which is something I'm working on, and then holding down when the nair comes out, and then at higher percents when nair isn't off the table but isn't as good as fair or something, I should just, there's a lot of positions where I should just be considering just going for grab, more than I am right now, particularly given that they are trying to make me play in the corner, and I'm actively trying to avoid that right now, even though I shouldn't be, because grab is stronger in the corner, because I get
grab
a lot
is good
of
everywhere.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's like stronger. It's strong in the corner. I guess it is a little stronger in the corner, but like grab is good everywhere. We don't need to make this complicated.
Grab them, yeah.
I mean, like technically almost all of Marth's moves are better in the corner, because like fair, if they DI away, you have better edge guards. If they DI in, they just explode. F smash is kind of same thing. Like it's, he's a corner good. Marth plays advantage state well. That's kind of his thing. Yeah. So a lot of his moves are going to be buffed. So let's not like worry about specific delineations. Let's just grab is a good move. Like we want to use undershoots with nairs, fairs, and ground moves while holding down to contest their overshoot attempts. I'd also say that like we also want to say that we want to be percent mindful with when we go for fairs and fairs and such, because he's on the ground so much. Because,
and then one more.
Does that point make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Because he's not in the air, so like he's not going to take full stun if he's holding down. So like it's in the air. If we like anti-air him with fair before the fair knockdown percent, it doesn't matter because we just like he pops up a bit, falls, auto cancel lands, we grab him, like we're good. But on the ground, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, particularly given that they seem to have run up shield in their toolkit, though they didn't use as much as they could have.
You start grabbing him. Like grabbing him and like doing spaced aerials.
Yeah.
So you did like the two things that are like that make that terrible. So yeah, it makes sense he stopped.
Yeah, my other thought was because I know that they want the shine by the ledge. I need to practice hitting that fast fall timing so that I'm less afraid of being in the corner, so that I can utilize that space more. Because that space is particularly good to have when I know that they're going to try for those overshoot approaches.
So one thing I want to ask you, if Fox approaches with shield and you space fair on it, like just falling tipped fair away from him, who's at advantage?
It kind of depends. If I tipper the fair, I can just dash back, and it's even.
Why would we dash back? We just tipped fair. We're like -2 or something. We're good.
That's fair. Yeah, because my thought is if Fox knows I'm coming in.
Why would he know that?
That's a good point.
Yeah, like we're like so. My position is Marth is always at advantage here. He can lose the interaction, but that doesn't mean he's not at advantage, because Fox has to exit shield with either a jump-based action, shield release, or like roll or spot dodge or something. These is or like up smash or shit. Actually, though, that would be under jump-based action. But yeah, like all of these are super committal and like laggy and terrible. Marth, conversely, has all of his stuff. He can just like he can go for a fair, he can go for a nair, he can down tilt, he can grab, he can raw grab. Like God, he has like so much he's got going on there.
Yeah, I have a really short landing leg on late fair, so I can literally just jump cancel grab.
You can just standing grab if like you can land it where he's in your standing grab range, and you're outside of his hit range, because you have more range than him.
Forward momentum for that.
Just do the fair in place here, I'll show you. So, from here.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking about a slightly wider spacing than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. But oh yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, like you can do it with you can even do it with soft fairs too, like, and dash bet, like, see what I mean? Like if you stand still, yeah, it's bad, but like you don't need much room to like be outside of his stuff. Like, here, let's make him shine. See what I mean?
Yeah, that is one thing I'm trying to work on, is catching myself in the act of drifting full in on my approaches, because that's a very Falco thing to do, is just the whole W. But what I find with Marth is I wind up sitting on top of them, which is where I don't want to be after I land, and that's one of the things I'm trying to be more conscientious of, is spacing on landings.
Yeah, and it's just like you can just hold forward, pull back. Hold forward, pull back.
Okay.
It's like just quarter circle the fall. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's better to jump in place forward. Like you don't want to like dash jump forward a lot of the time. Marth kind of thrives on like establishing this kind of boxing spot and then just like working it the entire time. Because you can see there's so little Fox can do. Like, we're plus minus, like, 2, 3, 0, like, 1. Like, the hell does he do about this?
Yeah, because, like, if he tries to, like, wave dash forward, like, I've already got another move out by then. Like, I can, like, just up tilt or grab, and it's bad news bears. And then, yeah, wave dash back or roll, get eaten by any approach after the fair. Yeah, that's a really advantageous spot. Wow.
Yeah, this is crazy. Because I
There's just...
doesn't have stuff.
Yeah.
Fox's shield game sucks versus Marth. It's so bad. Because, like, Marth's... So, the thing about shields, there's two ranges. There's when you're inside somebody's out of shield range, like where they can up smash, grab, up B, whatever you. And then there's when you're outside of that. If you're outside of that, all they can do is, like, full hop and wave dash and shit. And, like, Fox doesn't have much range. This is one of his weaknesses.
Yeah, and Marth has a lot more of a leeway where he can be while still being being able to threaten the shield without being in that out of shield range.
Exactly. Like, fucking Sheik wants this position versus him. Because it's like she can just, like, space here, be outside, and then let's, like, boom.
Yeah, and Marth's got to do more than that.
Yeah, there isn't a character in this game, even Falco, like, as we were talking about him, there isn't a character in this game who doesn't abuse this spot versus Fox. See what I mean? Like, it's just...
Yeah, Falcon Nair, same thing.
Yeah. It's because there's, like, the Fox's range issues, like, there's, like, a universal, like, way of dealing with it. Like, that's why the low-spaced aerial is so good against him.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah. Like, fucking Ness does this. Like...
Oh, wow, okay.
Like, and Ness sucks. Ness has problems. But he can do this. He can be safe on Fox's shield. Let's make him shine for funsies.
Oh.
Don't be afraid of
All
shields.
right.
Shields suck. Shields are important, and when they're good, but, like, by and large, they're situational, and situational cards not good.
Okay.
I feel like that just, like, made a lot of things make sense to you.
It did, yeah. That really did help.
So what
there's been a lot of stuff I've been working on kind of in a vacuum that hasn't really come together yet. And this is kind of, a lot of the jigsaw pieces are being contextualized very well in this conversation.
Now here's one last thing. Let's get us doing this. So this is how you can practice like that slide off thing. You see how I set that up?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we record.
Yeah, I was doing it in the Escape Fox Wave Shine one as well, or the SDI the Wave Shine one, because it'll take you to the ledge at the end. And it's like I know the inputs and the timings. It's just like I'm trying to get my brain to like recognize that that's the situation that's about to arise and then be ready for it.
You could also just mash it.
Yeah.
See what I mean? Like if you can get it like a good amount of the time just by mashing. Like not every time, and you want to time it ideally, but I wonder if you can get it by holding down and in. No. Still. So I go by sound. Because it's like once I hear the blip and I'm hitting that spot, that's when I do it.
Okay.
Do you want to try it?
Yeah, I got Uncle Punch open right now.
Amazing. Show me.
I
feel like this is a very practical lesson.
Yeah, this is good. This is good. I've got a lot of practical things I'm trying to work on this year because I've got like a lot of decent, like a theoretical framework. Share my screen. Melee.
Oh, and I should stop streaming mine.
And this year I'm really trying to just like put it together and make it work. And so this is good.
Yeah. So training lab, we'll grab Fox and Marth. And I know that we're coming up on time, but that's okay. I like calling Philip a homunculus.
It's a good
You're in a good spot. This is fine.
It's a good descriptor.
No, you don't have to do anything, just recording. And then just bring... No, start with Marth. Always start with Marth.
Oh, wait.
So, like, restore positions, turn him off, and then we're going to taunt with Marth.
Okay. Wait. Record. Okay.
So, start over because we want to do this right away. Okay, we're done. So then it's record, and then we'll do... Yeah, cool. So this should be fine, and we'll play back. Play back with CPU. Okay, cool. So taunt with Marth. So taunt with Marth at the start, before he shines you. So something has gone... Okay, so this is new Uncle Punch, isn't it?
Yeah. The old one does it sometimes, but it's more common in the new one.
I bet it's D-save. Do delete positions. Let's just do this, like, let's just bring Fox right over and just do this, like, with as minimal, yeah, delete positions. So, get out of here. Not yet. So, you're trying to jump ahead. So, let's go one thing at a time. Bring Fox over. Perfect. Let's delete positions. We'll work from here. Because we want to have everything set up for us. So, first with Marth, let's now do taunt. Record taunt, and then immediately get out of here. Perfect. So, around when his sword is up, that is when we're going to have Fox shine him, because that is when we'll have control over him again.
Okay.
So, we need to put Marth on playback, though. So, a little bit, shine him slightly later. Like, towards the end of his, taunt. End of the taunt. So, after Mite de Grey. There. Perfect. Now playback. Playback for both. Wonderful. And now we do the DI. Because we should be able to control Marth after he's done his inputs for the play. So let's restore, and let's just set it to auto restore. So close. Flick when you hear the shine, just flick immediately. Like flick as he's going over the purple thing. Close. Close. Can we turn input display on? General, yeah. Should be right down below. There you go. You're holding it. Flick.
Okay.
Close. Like, we want to flick all the way down, but it's like a quick motion.
Oh,
okay.
There we go.
Do you press intentionally? Do you press hard usually?
Not really.
Okay. Because you're now getting these, and all we told you to do was, like, flick all the way down. So, I'm wondering, how do you do your inputs usually? Like, what is your thumb physically doing?
Usually, if I'm doing, like, that, I would, like, it'll be, like, it wouldn't usually be a flick.
Okay.
But I would just, like, kind of hold it down. But when you said flick the stick, I started doing the same thing I do when I try and do pivots with left or right.
Gotcha. We need to start using those lighter motions as more of our regular gameplay. Because, like, I think that is a huge thing. Like, the hard pushes are not efficient. They're not as efficient as these lighter ones. Because the game doesn't care, like, as long as, if you get to, like, the 89875 coordinate in the same amount of time either way, the game doesn't care if it was hard or hard or like light. But what your hands care about for doing your next actions is how much recoil there is.
Right. How close back? Like, am I getting back, resetting the stick to neutral?
I don't even mean the stick. I mean your hands. Like, how much more follow through does the motion you're doing need?
Mm.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So
All right. Well,
lighter touch.
Moment.
I know we can call it here, but like let's just do our takeaways for a minute. Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna flag. So I'm gonna flag like in addition to the things above, like everything above I think is a takeaway, but I'm gonna also flag advantage state. No advantage. No who has advantage. Continue to press advantage versus shields. You have the advantage most of the time. Most of the time, if you executed your aerial well. That's the first thing, and the other big one is lighter touches.
Yeah,
with your joystick.
I'm thinking I'll practice that by trying to do like pivots out of Dash Dance to get used to having that lighter hand on the stick just when I'm doing anything.
Yeah.
Because when I try and do pivots, I like intentionally have to kind of adjust the way I'm hitting the stick. And so if I'm just doing it that way from the get-go, would make a lot of things easier.
In fighting, the amount of force, you never want to use more force than you have to.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because like, otherwise it's just wasteful. And this is a game where we have a lot of things we got to do. It also tires us out if we don't if we're not effective about that. So there's a lot of benefits to like a lighter touch.
But yeah.
Yeah. So I'll let you go, but I just wanted to confirm you're happy with how this went. This was a good use of our time.
Yes, this is very good. I have like I said, I have a lot of like disparate pieces that I've been working on kind of in a vacuum, like AC nairs that I've been trying to work on and stuff like that. And like this is really good because it's putting a lot of that in a broader context where it becomes useful.
Yeah, so like what's something that stands out to you in that regard? Like what's something that's tying things together, I guess?
The spacing thing around that we talked about around Fox's shield.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I've been trying to practice hitting my fares later because it's a timing advantage in terms of like it gives me the frame advantage, but knowing that also that those later that frame advantage on shield has its own set of benefits that are different from a frame advantage like on hit, and like where and how the spacing works gives me a lot more I don't know if incentive is the right word. It's more likely to trigger in my brain in the moment when I have more things that tie into it. Like to tie to that concept.
Amazing. I think I know we're short on time, so I think that I have a way to summarize it, and I think we can close on that. Executing aerial well in this context is defined as spaced and low enough that we are not able to be hit by immediate counterattacks out of shield.
Perfect. Exactly. Yeah.
So now it's like we have concrete goals that are based on the opponent's tools, as opposed to just being like, just do this, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
No, that's vital. So I'll let you go, but take care. I look forward to seeing how this helps you, and yeah, I'll see you on Friday.
All right. Talk to you later. Thanks.
Bye.